Every day means every day. My name is Brandon Burns, and in this video, I'm going to give you one technique that's going to help you learn and create more results in your life so much faster than you ever thought possible. See, learning is at an all-time high right now. More people are listening to audiobooks. More people are watching YouTube videos like this. More people are investing in coaching, in mentors, in community programs where you're learning new skill sets using the power of the internet. More people have ChatGPT. I mean, information is at an all-time high. No matter what you want to do, you want to get in better health, you want to improve your physique, you want to make more money, you want to start a business, improve your relationships. No matter what it is that you're looking to do with your life, the information, the tools, the strategies, the tactics, they're all out there. There's never been more information more easily and readily available than there is right now. Make no mistake, we are in the informational revolution right now. So a lack of information is certainly not a problem in this day and age. But what a lot of people do is they absorb the information, but then the rate of change in their behavior is just too slow. You learn the right things, and then you might even do the right things, but the results accrue too slowly. It's not happening quick enough. And so you end up maybe making a lot of money, but by the time you're 70 years old and can't really enjoy it, or you make that physical change in your body and you lose the 100 pounds, but it takes you a few years. See, it doesn't actually take that long to create sustained results in your life. You just have to do it the right way. Most people take the long way around. And in this video, I want to show you how not to do that. Now, to illustrate this, I want to give you a quick example from my gymnastics career. A lot of you who follow this channel know that I used to be a gymnast at the University of Michigan, turned into a coach out there, won 2 Big Ten championships from the same team I was actually cut from. But that's another story. But when I was a gymnast, one thing that gave me so much confidence and helped me learn so much faster was making things more difficult than they would be in the real thing. My practice was more difficult than my performance. Most people do things the other way around. Their practice is easier than the actual performance. Let me give you an example. When I was training in gymnastics and I was learning a new skill on floor exercise, tumbling, I would stack mats up to be a foot higher than the actual flat landing. So instead of taking off from here and landing on that same level of surface, I would take off from here and land up here on an elevated surface, which means what? I'd have to have more height and more rotation to land on this higher surface than I would to land on the regulation surface that we actually compete on. By making the practice more difficult than when I was actually going to perform those skills, it made me improve faster. See, people will improve at the rate that they are forced to improve at. It's kind of like the time management rule where people say if you give yourself an hour to do something, it'll take you an hour, but if you give yourself 20 minutes, it'll only take 20 minutes. You'll usually figure out a way to fill whatever amount of time that you have. Learning new skill sets is exactly the same way. So if you're trying to learn an athletics move, make it more difficult on yourself. If you're trying to learn pull-ups, put on some ankle weights, put on a weight vest, and then train the pull-ups. If you're learning a gymnastics skill, increase the height of the mats and then train it. You can apply this to literally every other place in life. If you're a salesperson, you're trying to close more deals, literally do it in the most distracting environment possible. When you do your training, when you do your role play in sales, you should do that with music on in the background. There should be the radio on, the TV should be on. There should be all these distractions all around you. And whoever is on the other side of that, who's role playing with you, should be the most belligerent, obnoxious, and annoying customer that you can imagine. They should be throwing you situations and scenarios that are 1% likely to happen in the real world, but that's what prepares you to actually go out there and close deals because you're practicing in an environment that's 10 times more demanding than when the performance is going to have to happen, right? And most people quite simply do not do this. They take the easy way out. They take the easy path and they make their training for whatever they're trying to get better at way too easy. And I'm telling you, that's the wrong way to do it. Matter of fact, when I started learning how to speak, and the reason that I one-shot all these videos with no notes, with no bullet points, with no scripts, with no teleprompter, no nothing, is because when I first started speaking, I would literally type in random word generator on Google. And then I would go to that website and I would give myself an imaginary target audience. I would say, okay, this is for football players who are student athletes at the University of Michigan. And I would hit the random word generator and a word would pop up on the screen and I would have to use that word to center my message around, and I would just start talking directly into a camera. No actual audience is there. I'd just start talking and I'd have to center my presentation around the word on the screen. And every 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, if I really needed to push myself and see how far I could stretch that, I would hit the button again and a new completely random word would come up, and then completely on my feet in real time, complete spontaneity, I would have to come up with more content, with more topics to speak about, with more impactful stories that related to the word that randomly showed up on the screen. And it gave me so much confidence because I knew that I was never going to be in an environment that was that difficult to speak in. And then I started doing that with the noises in the background. And then I started doing it while I was up moving around. I did it while I was holding a plank, like all these different distractions, because I knew that when I was actually giving a keynote, it would never be that difficult. So the principle here is make your practice more difficult than your performance. And if you're not currently doing that, I promise you it's going to come back to bite you, because one day you're going to be in a situation or a circumstance or a scenario that you just did not anticipate, and everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket, and you're not going to be prepared for it. So make your practice more challenging, more difficult, more stressful than your performance will ever be. And all of a sudden, you're going to look like a pro no matter what happens to you. Hey, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Share it with somebody who might get value from it. Don't forget to drop a comment below, and I'll see you on the next one.